All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Henry, and welcome back for another market update. So, we mentioned that QQQ and SPY are both bouncing on their golden pockets, the 0.618 Fibonacci. I think that's going to hold, and I think we're going to get a bounce and at least come up and touch this trend line. And if we do get a close above that trend line, then I do believe we're going to be breaking out. Or, I mean, obviously we'd be breaking out, but I do believe we're going to come up and at least touch these targets. Maybe we come up and tap this and finally close that gap. I don't think that's likely, though, because we do have FOMC coming up. And from the peak of today, going up to fill that gap would be a 7% rise. And that would be, let's see. I guess, I mean, it's possible. I just don't think it's likely. But I do think we are going to end up forming a hangman candle or a hammer candle here. And those are both bullish continuation candles slash bullish reversal candles. In my book, at least, not to most people, but in my book, and I go off of Thomas Bukowski and his website, thepatternsight.com. But yeah, I want to point out the VIX still does not know what it's doing. All right, it tried breaking down, it couldn't. Tried breaking up, it couldn't. So it doesn't know what it's doing. Bitcoin is breaking down from this pattern we got going on here, and I'm not sure what's going to be happening here, but I do believe that the markets are going to bounce, at least have a counter trend relief rally bounce. But again, also a bull trap. Keep in mind, people are they think they're doing a positive thing by buying in September because they think the crowd is going bearish in September. But in reality, no, it's just historically the stock market is mainly down the most in September. All right, so we just got to keep that in mind during the month of September, and we want to try not to go against the trend as much as possible. And also in October, I mean, if September's bad and produces a bad monthly candle, like we had this bad monthly candle, right? This is bearish harami. If that happens and we get another bearish looking candle, then I mean, maybe we get a bearish October. I don't know. Well, if we close underneath this candle, or actually if we close this month underneath this candle, I think it's just the body of the candle it has to do, but maybe even the wick just to be safe. If we close underneath it, then that confirms that this bearish harami candlestick pattern, these two candles, and that confirms we're going even lower. And that would mean we're definitely breaking these levels, these lows right here, and we're going much lower. And we're like, if that is the case, and this monthly candle does end up lower than both of these candlesticks, so this candle right here, then we're going to have to go on the patternsight.com. We're going to have to put a another bearish target on the board going off of these two candles right here. But we will face that when it comes because we can't do anything about it right now. But we can look at the weekly time frame and look what is happening. We are starting to curl up on the stochastic, and that does go with my belief, at least, that we are going to be rallying. And I don't think it's going to be a big one, but I think we're going to have a relief rally. We are clearly bouncing here on the golden pocket. Along with that, on SPY's trend line, we still have not had an hourly close underneath this trend line, which, I mean, that's a positive thing. That means we might have this bounce here, but if we do bounce here and it's just I mean, if we bounce here and it doesn't break this high right here, then I would consider it a partial rise, and that's bearish. All right, Bukowski says it's bearish if we have a partial rise, and I do believe that means this break over here, whenever it does retest this trend line, would be a whole lot stronger, and it would just be a whole lot more meaningful. But either way, if we do break that, I am going to go heavy into 1 to 2 month dated SPY puts. And I'm pretty excited about that whenever I do get that opportunity to, that confirmation opportunity. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I do believe we are going to be going up. Obviously, I have this on my chart. Bullish divergence there. We also have bullish divergence here on the SPY. You went down here, whereas you were bottoming here for the double bottom, and you also had this case of bullish divergence here. Come on, you like double bottom there while you completely fell off a cliff there. So yeah, I mean, I'm just saying there's kind of a case here for you to start heading down. Now, there's nothing bearish about the VIX. You're still in this pattern, and honestly, I think this is going to be a tell for where we end up going. I think whichever, and on the daily time frame I'm watching this, because on the hourly time frame, VIX did some really wacky shit here. But yeah, if we break down, I would suspect that VIX is probably going to come down here and fill this gap. QQQ is going to go up and fill some gaps. And yeah, but if we break up, I would suggest, or it would suggest that VIX is going to come up here to finally come up and hit our $30 target. Now, I hope that, well, actually, I don't even care. I don't even care if that happens. I really do hope that we do have this bounce here. I do get to play the upside on a break here, lightly. And then I do get a really nice short entry to then hold into another touch of this down of this uptrend. And then I can also take another dated position when we break this uptrend. So it would be the ultimate trade if we do end up getting a bounce here, like I think we are going to get. Now, yes, I guess it's a little conflict of interest here because I do want that to happen, and it's to myself, not to you guys. You guys are in good hands. But I'm not getting emotional about it. It's whatever. Okay, if we do end up having this close underneath this trend line here, then yeah, I'm going to go short. I'm going to do exactly what I just said I'm going to do. I'm going to buy 1 to 2 months out on SPY for puts, and I'm going to wait until some targets get hit to sell those. But yeah, I do think we are going to bounce. And that's pretty much all I really got for this video. We can look over what's happening with Weber. I saw it was bouncing, and I do want to point out, okay, whatever happens to the market is going to be happening to Weber, okay? I just think it's going to be more extreme with Weber. And that's because Weber has like 57% short interest. So if the market's going up and all this, all like money, just money in general, big dumb money and smart money starts flowing, excuse me, if big and small money starts flowing into all stocks across the market and indices, then Weber, all in all, Weber will rise along with all the other boats when the water levels rise. And on top of that, some shorts are going to be covering. I guarantee it. So it's probably going to be going up more aggressively than the overall market. And I think we are probably going to be having a situation like that. I mentioned last video that Weber is mainly owned by, I saw a tweet on Twitter. Weber's mainly, and it was of the, it was of filings on Fintel, I believe, of Warren Buffett's banker, and he owns like 89% or something of Weber. All right, I could be off on that number, but it's definitely a very high amount of the outstanding shares of Weber are owned by this guy, which means some big guys are probably in on this too, or it's just him and he just like sees the opportunity here. I don't know. Or he's trying to manipulate the shit out of this. This is why I say, like, don't, like, risk money you're going to need on this thing. Like, it could end up just falling and finding new lows. I have no idea. But I did say I do believe it's going to be, or I did believe, and I still do believe, the bottom is going to be on one of these levels. I don't think we're going to be making new lows. But yeah, I went pretty heavy here in Weber, and my next buy is going to be if we come down here to this level, 582. Next buy is going to be on each of those levels, which are only 2 pennies or 1 penny apart, which actually we can adjust right now. Change that. We could take that level out and we could make it that level right there, 560. All right. But yeah, I don't think Weber's going to go down there. I think we are going to be bottoming, but that is also because I believe the market is going to be having this bounce here. And yeah, because like someone owns like a lot of Weber's outstanding shares, the float is just locked, which means someone can easily manipulate the price. So it was either that guy selling off Weber because he owns so many of these outstanding shares, or someone figured out that they can very easily manipulate this price because of it, or it's him doing that. All right, or it's him manipulating it, or it's like him just making money off the dealers on call option stuff because he knows he has the float locked and he can very easily just keep buying and selling a small amount of his shares to make it rise and fall. And when he does these things, like obviously like retail interest comes along and probably other institutions. That's why you probably started seeing this climb. That's why you probably started seeing that too. But I also think that's why you're probably going to start seeing an aggressive pump, all right? Or you're going to start seeing just a steady climb. I really don't care. I got like 50 days on the contracts. Yeah, I'm playing this one safe, but I do believe these are the levels to be loading up on. If the market gets its bounce, Weber's going to be probably aggressively going up. If the market goes sideways, Weber's probably going to be going sideways or slightly going up, like we saw right here. But yeah, if you get the bounce, it's probably going to have some effect like that, or it's going to start pumping like really hard. But if the market starts selling off more, then yeah, you're definitely going to be coming down here to these levels, unless like the market looks at this and is like, holy shit, Weber's the new short squeeze play, we got to hop on it, which I can almost guarantee you that's not going to happen. Because like even Zip Trader making his video, that didn't like what happened after that. But either way, I mean, that gave us a great entry. We said that's probably going to be the case after this day. We pointed that out, that this thing's probably going to be falling to these levels, and we are ready to buy down at those levels. So everyone have a lovely day. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.